Imagine renovating your house, breaking down an ordinary wall to expand a room, and suddenly discovering that behind it there isn't dirt or stone, but a passage to another world. A narrow corridor, ancient steps, and at the end, an entire city buried beneath your feet. This isn't a movie script. It really happened. Stay with me until the end, because the story I'm about to tell you is so unbelievable that I'll doubt it, true. It all started in 1963 in Turkey, more precisely in the region of Cappadocia. This area is famous for its bizarre rock formations, its caves, and landscapes that look like they belong on another planet. A man, whose name was never fully revealed, decided to renovate his home. His goal was simple: create more space. But when he broke down a basement wall, he didn't find soil or rubble. He found an opening, a dark passage that seemed endless. Curious, he decided to explore. With a makeshift lantern, he stepped inside and soon realized this was no ordinary cavity. The walls were carved with precision, the passages connected, the steps carefully sculpted. The deeper he went, the more he understood. This was a city hidden underground. His discovery would change not only his life, but also the history of modern archaeology. The place he found became known as Derinkuyu, the largest underground city ever discovered. It's estimated to be more than 1,500 years old, maybe even older, perhaps over 2,000 years. It was built during times of invasion and persecution, a refuge for entire populations, capable of sheltering tens of thousands of people at once. Imagine that. Beneath a simple home was an entire city, complete with streets, rooms, churches, stables, and even schools. What's most impressive is that Derinkuyu wasn't just a network of improvised tunnels. It was a sophisticated feat of engineering. The corridors were designed to confuse intruders, with secret passages and giant rolling stones that could block entrances. Ventilation shafts ensured fresh air, even 60 meters below the surface. Storage areas for food and water meant people could survive there for months without ever going outside. Each floor served a different purpose. On the upper levels were animals and storage. On the deeper levels were living spaces, dormitories, and places of worship. It was like an underground skyscraper with more than 10 floors, all carved into soft volcanic rock. Can you imagine the shock that man felt when he realized his house stood on top of an entire city? It's as if today, someone knocked down a wall and found a hidden metropolis, intact and waiting to be rediscovered. The fact that it was uncovered by pure chance makes the story even more fascinating. But how could a city like this exist without anyone knowing? The answer lies in Cappadocia's troubled history. For centuries, the region was invaded repeatedly. Nomadic tribes, expanding empires, religious wars. Danger was constant. To protect themselves, entire communities dug into the earth and built these refuges. They could vanish underground for months, while enemies ravaged the surface. Some evidence suggests the first excavations date back to the Hittite Empire, around the 13th century BC. Later, early Christians fleeing persecution expanded and used Derinkuyu. Over the centuries, it was modified and adapted by different cultures. In other words, it wasn't the work of just one people, but a collective effort passed down through generations. The scale is staggering. Experts estimate that Derinkuyu could hold up to 20,000 people. It wasn't just a hideout. It was a living city. Kitchens with ovens, wine presses, grain storage, schools for children, and churches with elaborate architecture. It was a replica of surface life recreated underground. The ventilation is another marvel. Even today, anyone walking through Derinkuyu feels the air circulating. That was possible thanks to giant ventilation shafts strategically connected throughout the city. Without this, life underground would have been unbearable. It's proof of the intelligence and organization of those ancient builders. And Derinkuyu wasn't alone. Studies show it connects to other underground cities in Cappadocia, forming a network of tunnels that may stretch for dozens of kilometers. It's as if there's another Cappadocia beneath the visible one. Many passages haven't been fully explored, fueling theories that the underground system was even larger than we imagine. Now picture yourself walking through those silent corridors, knowing that thousands of people once lived there, hiding from war, raising families, surviving in the dark. Every stone tells a story of resilience and ingenuity. But this story also reminds us of chance. Think about it. If that man hadn't decided to remodel his house, Derinkuyu might still be hidden today. One of the greatest archaeological treasures in the world was revealed simply because a wall was torn down. Behind a common wall lay an entire chapter of human history. Today, Derinkuyu is open to visitors from around the world. Tourists walk through narrow corridors, descend staircases, and see with their own eyes what centuries of history left behind. The feeling is like entering another world, one where sunlight barely reached, but life still thrived. Of course, such a discovery has inspired endless theories. Some believe Derinkuyu was only a refuge. Others think it may have been a spiritual center, a sacred place for gatherings in times of crisis. And then there are the more fantastic ideas, linking it to ancient myths or even otherworldly visitors. While there's no proof for these wilder theories, the sheer scale of the city continues to inspire imagination. The story spread quickly, turning Derinkuyu into a symbol of human ingenuity. It reminds us that survival drives people to extraordinary solutions. After all, not every community builds an entire city underground. Now, I want you to imagine again. You're at home, living your everyday routine, and decide to remodel a simple room. Suddenly, you uncover an entrance to a forgotten world. Would you have the courage to explore alone, or would you call for help right away? The discovery of Derinkuyu teaches us something important. Sometimes the extraordinary is hidden just beneath our feet, waiting for one small action to reveal it. Behind an ordinary wall, there might not just be dust or stone. There might be an entire city, silent, waiting for its story to be told. So tell me, would you dare to step into a labyrinth like this if you found one in your house? Leave your answer in the comments, share this video with your friends who love unbelievable stories, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Here, you'll discover many more surprising and unexpected stories that show just how incredible our world really is.